Good morning, pals and gals. It's Jara doing another one of those monthly Patreon question and answer thingies. This is for May. Let's get started. First question's from Anna. She asked, if you could travel back in time to see an event, what would it be? Now, I'm assuming by this question, Anna means I cannot do anything. I am simply there to watch, like Watu the Watcher, forbidden to interfere. So that takes me out of almost any wars or any sort of nefarious deeds. And off the top of my head, I would like to really meet and experience the first meeting between Nikolai Tesla and Mark Twain. They were buddies for a while, and they made an interesting pair, the mad genius and the irascible, sarcastic wit. And they really loved each other. They loved each other's writing, loved each other's scientific pursuits, and it would be a really just engaging process and experience to see them work together. Second question from Anna. When the wind howls at you, what do you imagine it's saying? I imagine it's saying the word now. It's an imperative to move, to keep living. So when I hear the wind, it's from this now. And it's not done in sort of an insistent way, but more of a gentle, sort of a tough love approach. Next question from Abigail. The story of your worst date. I have to go with my first date ever as a kid. This was a senior in high school. I'd asked out this red-haired, delightful person by the name of Ellen Tornell to a date. Now, being the nerd I am, I chose the movie Oliver Stone's Nixon. Which is like a 3.5-hour movie. So here we were, my mother drove me, we were in the movie theater, around the time Nixon was planning to, run up against Kennedy, was when high school me decided maybe I should do the thing where I put my arm around, and I did, and I accidentally touched her left breast. She then left and went to the bathroom, I believe, for about 30 minutes. And so I sat there in stony silence by myself, wondering, oh God, I really screwed this up. And then she came back unexpectedly at that point, and we didn't say anything or touch. We just watched the rest of the movie with Anthony Hopkins. It's very good in the movie, although it's a bit flawed. And yeah, it was just so awkward. Being my first one, I guess. There's other stories, like the time on a first date, I locked myself out of my own car, and the date's father had to help me out. That's a fun one. Or the first date where things were going great with the woman until I discovered she was a shoplifter. That was a weird one. Next question. What teachers have inspired you in theater and creative writing? I've talked about this before. I'll bring up another one. In college, I was one of the first students to be taught under fiction writer Amy Bender at USC, and she was just like a breath of fresh air. Because previously I've been thinking, well, here I am learning about very formal, ornate styles of writing. Your John Donne's, your Romantic time period, your modernists, and so forth. And she, in her entire work, really revolves around the idea of what absurd thing can I start with, and how do I justify the absurdity of that world? Which was something I always been doing, but I thought was improper, or not, not something one should be doing. And she sort of inspired me to both tap into that area of nonsense, but also to make it precise and call upon historical narratives. She's one of the first people who really encouraged me to write about my family history, as well as, explore what the short story form could do. If you're ever in a mood for a good book, I encourage you, read any of Amy Bender's stuff, specifically the collection of short stories called The Girl in the Flannel Skirt, or her long-form fiction novel, A Different Sign of My Own. Both wonderful ones. I miss Amy, and I'm glad she's doing well. Now, here are my questions for you. Write them in the comments, here on YouTube or on Patreon. Number 1, what's your favorite workout song? Something that really gets you going even when you're tired as hell. And number 2, a little more complicated, based on current events. Does the behavior or life of an artist take away your enjoyment of the work they've done? Alright, guys. Talk to you next month. Love you.